Hello, audience. My name is Dawson. His name is Justin.
Hello.
And today, for one of the first times ever, we saw a movie on release day, and that, of course, is Power Rangers. This movie is about a group of high school kids who are infused with the unique superpowers, harness their abilities in order to save the world. Which is, you guys all know the Power Rangers. It's a classic kids' TV show. It stars a big cast, so just stick with me here. The Red Ranger, I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name, but I think it's Decree Montgomery, and he plays Jason. Naomi Scott plays Kimberly. R.J. Seiler plays Billy. Ludi Lin plays Zach. Becky G plays Trini. Elizabeth Banks plays Rita Repulsa. Bryan Cranston plays Zordon, and Bill Hader is the voice of Alpha 5. And then there's other people, but they're not as important.
Except for Rita. Did you mention her?
I mentioned her right before Bryan Cranston.
I just completely did not hear you. I'm sorry.
But yeah, this movie is rated PG-13, which for PG-13 movie, there is a ton of cussing in it. Because I'm pretty sure they can only have a few things right here and there, like F-bombs and stuff.
Like, they can have, I think they can say, shit a few times.
I think the F-word can be dropped twice.
Either once or twice. I'm not quite sure.
But they had a bunch of a lot of profanity in there, but there was
a lot more than you'd think for a Power Rangers. But I feel like they're trying to push this movie as far away from the original series as possible.
Yeah, not as campy.
Yeah, but still keeping it in the same realm of this is definitely Power Rangers.
Yeah. So we're gonna do something a little bit different today, which is discussing our favorite parts and discussing our not so favorite parts of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So Justin, starts off with your favorite parts of the movie.
This movie, to me, it was just good. There was a lot of fun parts in it. Of course, I'm trying to work it out in my brain, starting from start to finish. Them in detention is cool.
It's like the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, it's basically the New Age Breakfast Club. If Breakfast Club was an action movie,
and they had superpowers.
Which I like that. I kind of wish that all 5 of them were in detention, but just so they'd have that one thing together, but it's fine if they didn't.
They're all kind of not delinquents, but they're cast outs.
Yeah.
Outcasts. Not cast outs, outcasts. And that's what kind of brings them together towards the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
And they finally all kind of understand each other.
The scene where they got their power coins was really cool. And then seeing them float in the water and it reveals their colors.
Yeah.
Which was cool too.
We just had lunch, so excuse me.
Sorry, I excuse myself very much so. When they went onto the ship for the first time and saw Alpha 5 and Zordon, which I think Bill Hader did a pretty good job at Alpha 5. I missed the iconic I, which he said a few times, but
he said it once, and then I think I heard some dude over in the corner go, "Yeah."
But it wasn't the same as the original voice actors for Alpha 5's I, which that's just one of the most iconic things in the original series is the I.
And then affirmative. Who said Billy says affirmative, right?
Yeah, I think so. He used to talk very tech-like, affirmative.
And the thing in this movie, all of the characters from the original Power Rangers, names and everything, are moved over to this movie, and their personalities are not exactly similar, but at least when it comes to the Billy character, it is fairly similar to being the tech guy.
Bryan Cranston, I believe, did a great job as Zordon.
Yeah.
And it's cool having him there because I feel like most people who are going to see this movie now know, because it's been said so many times since it was announced he was in the movie. He did a lot of work on the original Power Rangers as just enemies and stuff. But he was always in costume. I don't know if he was ever credited. He might have been.
I think he was credited, but he did a lot of monster acting.
Their rendition of the putties, I believe, is very good compared to at least the original, because the original they're just guys in suits and it just was not scary looking. But these are giant, or they're not really giant, but they're human-sized rock monsters.
Sure.
They're bigger than human-sized. And they actually look like a threatening monster than just a dude that you could kick over and he'd just be dead.
Sure.
I think Elizabeth Banks did a pretty good job as Rita Repulsa. She brought the creepy factor that the character I felt like was supposed to have when back in the original series, but like she just didn't really because it was too campy to be creepy.
Sure.
Let's see, going through it. I'm trying to like go like scene by scene in my head. Seeing them like try to do like the whole morph thing and see them fail at it is something you never really saw in the original series.
They were just able to,
Yeah.
when they came to Zordon, they were just able to do it pretty much.
Yeah. So seeing them actually like have this journey of becoming Power Rangers is something I don't think we ever really saw back in the day.
Besides, well, I mean, we saw it in a few TV shows. Like
Yeah.
we saw it in
Like Ninja
like Jungle
Storm.
Fury. We saw it too.
Yeah.
Where they had to like train to actually unlock their spirit animals or unlock this or do that so they can actually morph.
Yeah, but like as for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I think they just got their powers and then went and fought monsters.
Sure,
Which
yeah.
one thing I like is in this movie they actually give note to their powers because like in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers you can argue that they had powers. You can argue it was just their different forms of martial arts. But this one they actually have like super strength, like super jumping, durability. So they like in later seasons, like I know Dino Thunder, they had powers, and I know in Ninja Storm they had powers, but I'm not sure in the original they ever really stated like, oh yeah,
There's
we
a
can
lot
do
of
things.
weapons that they use to like enhance their fighting.
Yeah,
Is that they give different weapons and stuff.
which that's one thing I was kind of missing from this movie. I know we said we're going to do like this like differently, but since you just brought it up, I wish they had that one centralized weapon because like there's always like they each always have a weapon that they put together to be like one super gun basically.
Sure. I mean, we didn't get that. We did get the Megazord did have two swords with the pterodactyl wings. They only used it once.
For the final blow.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But I guess so. I mean, the Red Ranger did have his kind of plasma
It was a power sword.
thing.
There are some didn't have weapons, but they had good punches.
Yeah, they literally. I think they just gave it to him because he was the team leader.
Yeah, the team leader always has that one notable weapon.
Maybe we'll get weapons in future movies because, of course, we're going to get them.
Mhm.
But yeah, we did have that one little thing that definitely looked like the plasma sword from Halo. But it's kind of hard to do a futuristic sword that's not a lightsaber. But I continue if you have anything else.
Seeing them morph for the first time literally gave me chills.
Yeah, I had goosebumps quite a few
Yeah.
times in this movie.
It's just every time they like to draw back to like the original series. Like we grew up with it, but we grew up with like the reruns, so we
Yeah.
weren't like the generation that had it when it first aired.
Yeah.
But we still had it. So like every callback they did was like I just felt my skin just go. Ooh,
Even though in the trailer we did see a few of those callbacks
Mhm.
or a few of those very iconic phrases. When Jason said it's morphin time, I
That
was just
is
like,
like,
"Ooh!" I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Yeah, same.
But when he said it's morphin time, and, and then the music just picks up, and it's just like this really cool panoramic shot around the room, and the kind of lights are flickering, not flickering, but the camera's flickering. That was pretty cool, and seeing everybody kind of like start transforming and morphing and stuff, that was cool.
And then when they got in their Zords and started to roll out,
Yeah.
and it starts playing the Mighty Morphin theme song or rendition of it, that was like the top moment of the movie for me. Which is, that had me so freaking excited. It had me so going.
And it was super quick, super fast.
Yeah,
I wish
like,
it would have went a little bit longer throughout the fight, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I understand they're trying to make this, they're making it new. But it was 7 seconds when they're running through a field,
Mm-hmm.
and there was enough
And it was
to get the crowd pumped.
It was a really good rendition of it. I do say. And then when Rita said when her monster was forming, Goldar, she said, "Make my monster grow," which is what she always said.
Yeah.
After they feed the monster the first time and the monster grew again, is what she always said.
Yeah.
So it's like having that as another callback was great. And then going into the
Every
fight,
monster grew. They just had to get the Megazord every single episode.
it's because that's what toys.
Yeah, it does. Literally, Power Rangers is just like Transformers. It sells toys.
Yeah.
And whatever they can make. That's why a lot of the props and different weapons within Power Rangers look like toys.
Mhm.
Because they want them to be as... They want them to transition to toy very, very well.
Well, speaking of Transformers, the one not the Transformers when they had the yellow Camaro.
Sorry, Bumblebee.
I was like, I thought they would just make it as like a slight nod to Transformers, but no, they made.
And we were actually talking about that the other day.
About Power Rangers versus Transformers with Megazord.
Yeah. And they made other different nods to Marvel, being Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Yeah.
When Billy asks, which superhero we kind of like. Are we more like Spider-Man or are we more like Iron Man?
Which they kind of ended up like both.
Kind of.
Like,
I mean, they got the agility of Spider-Man, but they also got the kind of armor of Iron Man.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. Like, I enjoyed that part.
Yeah. And then just the fight scene, like when they're just running over like all these putties. Like back in the day, people were always like, why don't they just use the Megazords to fight everything? And it's like because this is not how it is. But this time they use a Megazord to fight everything.
Yeah. It's like why doesn't Iron Man always use a Hulkbuster?
Yeah.
It's
just because sometimes you don't have to.
Yeah. Sometimes you can fight.
Yeah.
You can fight with your two fists.
One thing I kind of liked is that they made Rita the Green Ranger, like,
which was speculated heavily before.
Yeah.
Because of her green power coin.
Yeah. But I'm just glad they had that because now the green power coin is a thing that exists.
They defined it.
Yeah.
Well, she has her staff.
I think when she was flying through space, I don't think she was holding her staff.
Did she drop it?
I think
they defined it.
Yeah.
And give it to. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Who they give it to eventually.
The big fight with them actually in their Megazord looked really cool. We got glimpses of Megazord, like through toys and through like a trailer, but seeing it in its full glory on the big screen, from head to toe, it looked really cool. They were not in their usual like command center part. They were each in different pods.
Which I like it better because kind of each Megazord makes up a different part of the body.
Mm-hmm.
But they never really kind of hinted towards that each person has to work together to move this Megazord. It just kind of seemed like
they always did like the same motion whenever they would do something. Like if they had a sword, they would like use their arm to pretend like they're slashing with a sword.
Yeah, but this one, one or two different Rangers control the arms, two different Rangers control the legs, and then
Jason just was like the head.
Jason was the head. He's the team leader. He kind of tells everybody what to do and how to coordinate things, and I'm sure he probably had a hand in the swords.
He told them to reach their arms back to grab the swords.
So I mean, he was kind of just he was being the leader.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't really have much to do other than just to tell people, "Hey, do your job. Come on, guys."
One thing, just going forward, the other one of the most hype moments of the film is like when things are starting to wrap up and everybody's like, "Okay, these people are good people that are fighting for us, and not another monster that's going to wreck our city. Let's take pictures of it." You can see Kimberly and Tommy in the crowd, and that was just like that made my heart skip 10,000 beats because like they were always the power couple back then, and just to see that they had them stay together for this, it was just it did everything for me.
They invited to the premiere. They invited Jason David Frank. I cannot remember the girl that plays Kimberly. David Yost, who is Billy, the original Billy, and then one of the original Red Rangers, because there's two of them. Remember?
I feel like it'd have to be the original one.
I don't know if he's. I don't know. Because I couldn't tell by the face.
Yeah.
Because he looked older.
It was either the guy who played Jason or the guy who played Rocky. It was one of the two.
One person that I'm super sad. I follow on Instagram. I follow the original Zordon on Instagram, and he was not invited. And he said he posted a picture of him with his own ticket last night. He was like, "I wasn't invited to the actual premiere, but I'm still gonna go see it." But and everybody in the comments is like, "Oh my god, it's their loss."
Yeah,
he's just a sweet guy. He's a really cool guy. But yeah, it was cool seeing the. Oh, and also the original Black Ranger.
Oh yeah.
Zach. He was there too. At the premiere. Anything else you want to say?
We'll save the special part for the very end.
All right,
but
and then
your turn.
On to my favorite parts. Pretty much exactly what Justin touched on. A few things I do want to know is a lot of people were kind of angry, or not angry, but were kind of just like, "Why did you have to tell us this?" When they disclosed that the Yellow Ranger was gay She, you know, and people are like, I don't. It doesn't matter if she's gay.
Gay or bi, one of the two.
It doesn't matter. Like we don't care. Like I just want to enjoy the movie. You know, I don't need to know this. It's whatever. It's like, well, I mean, they were just disclosing it for anybody that out there that is just like.
And they disclosed it in the right moment because everybody was like just like telling everybody about themselves so they could get closer. So it was like told
and
them about her.
It was nodded literally at one time when Zach said, "Oh, girl problems." That was the only part of the movie that was actually talked about.
Yeah.
And then they also disclosed that Billy the Blue Ranger is on the spectrum, the autistic spectrum. So he's autistic.
With, I would say, like, hints of OCD. Like, with how he wanted his pencils to be in exact order.
No, that comes with autism.
Okay.
It does come with autism. My mom's worked with autistic kids for the better half of 20 years. So that's just a part of the spectrum of having things in an orderly fashion. But yeah, I do wish they would have used that more with Billy because he kind of had it at the beginning of the movie, then he kind of lost at the end. So that's one of my gripes. I don't want to get into the gripes exactly right now, but that's one of my gripes that he kind of lost at the end, which kids with autism can come out of it and attach to certain people and be able to hug and to kind of discern different emotions from them, but he kind of really came out of it towards the end.
I feel like that was just because he was more focused on the battle than his mental.
But yeah, but Billy was my favorite Ranger. Yours was who?
I would say my favorite was Kim.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the actress. I think she's a pretty young thing.
It's a pretty young thing.
Yeah.
She's probably like...
She's older than us.
24.
Something like that. But I mean, that's still kind of young.
23.
But, like, back in the day, my favorite Ranger was indeed Tommy because I've always liked the Green Ranger the most. But if I had to say my second favorite back then probably would have been Kimberly as well.
But yeah, I really enjoyed Billy.
Yeah.
I thought he was a cool guy. There's two Rangers I didn't feel got enough. It's not a great, but I feel like they should do more of them maybe in the future, which was Zach and Trini.
Yeah.
Which they called her two different names. They pronounced her name two different ways. Alpha called her Trini, and she called herself Trini. I noticed that. It was like Trini and Trini. And I was like, so which one are you guys going for? Is it like Aang and Ong for this movie? Like, what's going on? You guys are just going to change it a little bit? I believe in the original it's Trini.
It is Trini.
But in this movie, she called herself Trini.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was just her messing up and they're like, well, let's use the take. Doesn't matter. Or what. But yeah. The Zord battles was cool. The Megazord battle is pretty cool. Though I do have gripes, throughout different things. I do like the cast overall. Alpha, it was just a voice. It wasn't an actual motion capture performance, which they could have done, but they didn't do it. They just had to do full CGI for him, or unless there was a motion capture and Bill Hader just wasn't the motion capture for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he did fine for the voice.
Alpha looked really different than he used to. Like he used to be about the same height as Power Rangers, but now he comes up to like their waist.
Yeah, I feel like it's just because they had to get someone in the suit.
Yeah,
that's it. They just had to get someone in the suit.
That's very much true.
They just didn't. They didn't think to hire a short person. But Alpha from the beginning, I wasn't a person that was opposed to it, but I also was thinking he's gonna be more organic than just bioorganic. He said he was a robot, but he did have some.
He didn't look quite as robot as the old Alpha.
Yeah. But he was fine. He didn't have much to say. He was more. Though Zordon did take control of the Rangers, he seemed very like. The one complaint I have about Zordon, he looked cool. Bryan Cranston did a good job, but Zordon is kind of supposed to be the voice of not only reason, but the voice of motivation stuff. In this movie, he was totally down on them the entire time.
But I feel like going forward, you'll have like that newfound respect for him. Like these are my Rangers.
Because if spoiler alert, this whole thing is spoiler alert. So if you've gotten this far and you think that you get mad at this spoiler, we see at the very beginning of the movie, it opens with Zordon being the original Red Ranger, or not the original, but one of the Red Rangers. He was the leader of his team. And he got in a fight with Rita Repulsa. He got his entire team killed. They're aliens. He got his entire team killed. And Alpha, he dug a very little hole, and hid the power coins in it. But apparently it was spread across this wall later. I don't know how that happened.
Over time, things happen.
And then
I
Alpha just took his mind, I guess, and put it
mhm.
within the ship, and he can only be unlocked when the Rangers came back.
Yeah,
And then by the Rangers actually connecting and morphing would actually bring him back to life. Uh, but you find out that he doesn't do that, and he gives his life to somebody else in the movie, which is a good thing. And you kind of see a little bit, you kind of find a little more, not compassion for Zordon, but you grow to like him a little bit more because he is
yeah.
kind of a dick in this movie, to be honest. But it was really cool seeing him go across the wall. It's much different than the cylinder because I
Hmm.
mean the original guy who played him only did it once when they showed his face because they didn't have the budget for it.
Hmm.
So it was the same face, the same. That's why his mouth was never synced up. It wasn't because he just decided to do it that way. It's just because they shot it one time.
Yeah, they didn't. It was one of the things they really didn't need to show it more, like shoot it more than one times,
Yeah,
because it always looks the exact same.
yeah. So, but yeah, Bryan Cranston was okay, and it was kind of cool seeing a more prehistoric battle
Uh huh.
with the Rangers, and they kind of explained how the Zords became prehistoric looking because they took the forms of the most powerful beings on the planet at that time,
Hmm.
and that was dinosaurs because they reigned at the time.
And a saber-toothed tiger, which is not really a dinosaur,
No,
but
because it came after.
we'll
But
let that.
we'll leave it
They couldn't
alone.
change the saber-toothed tiger's word. They just wouldn't do that.
But yeah, but whatever. Everything that Justin said is pretty much fairly true for me too. Though I do have a few nitpicks here and there, which we'll get into when we discuss the our not so favorite things in the movie.
Hmm.
But overall, the cast was good. Billy was good as my favorite character. I did like the Red Ranger. He's a very close second. But I did like them all. They were all cool characters, and I'm looking forward to seeing them again. But let's move on to the things that we not so much like, Justin.
Um, One of the first things, like, besides the original Red Ranger, or not Red Ranger, the original Rangers,
Yeah.
there's two more characters that were very iconic to the series, and that is Bulk and Skull, which did not appear in this series.
Yeah,
They had a bully, but it was not the bullies.
unless no, because they named him. They called him something in the movie.
They
But
might have.
I'll when you're talking, I'll look and see if I
Um,
can find it.
so having them missing, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's still something missing.
They don't have it listed.
Um, Also, like their whole hangout always used to be the juice bar, which also had like the karate class in it, and everything they wanted to do was always at that juice bar. So having that location gone also is kind of a downer.
But Justin, they have Krispy Kreme.
Which it didn't. The two Rangers hung out at Krispy Kreme. They never all hung out at Krispy Kreme. Um, but it's just like those small little things that are like that were in the original series that were not in this one.
And it probably won't. I mean, the juice bar. I guess juice bars have come back.
Yeah,
But maybe a new hangout spot. Not exactly a juice bar, but I can agree. Maybe in the next movie, because they're going to. In this movie, they're just becoming friends. Maybe in the next movie, we'll meet them in an actual hangout place that's
Yeah, like-
not just the ship.
around like the middle of the movie, they couldn't even say like they were friends. Like they had like that respect for each other, but they like around the fire like they even asked like, "Are we friends? Like, are we?"
Yeah, because Billy said you have us to
Yeah.
Kimberly?
Yeah.
No,
something like
to
that.
Trini.
Yeah,
To Trini, because she moved around a lot. Um,
and she asked like, "Are we friends?" Or somebody
of that
asked.
nature. Somebody of that nature asked or
Um,
whatever.
But when basically after they fight Rita for the first time without their suits, and like they're worrying about Billy because he just died, um, they find that friendship.
Yeah, because of the death of their friend, they say, okay, yeah, we're friends.
Yeah.
Any more nitpicks
Um,
or dislikes?
Not really.
Okay.
Like the final battle was pretty cool. Like pretty cool. I would say it's near amazing for what this movie is.
Sure.
So I don't really have much. It's just those little things here and there that were kind of missing from the original series, but it's also things we can live without.
Sure.
So I'm sure you have some words to say. So why don't you start saying them?
The CGI in this movie is shit. It is terrible. There were so many points in the movie that I was sitting there and I said, "Wow, you guys had a budget of $100 million, and this is what we're getting with some of these scenes." There's some scenes that are just blatantly shot on green screen, or the CGI is just so bad, and so just in your face, like, wow, that's not good at all.
I wouldn't say it's bad throughout the entire thing, though.
There's a few points where it's like, okay, that's passable, but there's a lot of points where you're like, that's very, 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 very fake. You like the putties? I wasn't a fan.
I mean, I like them compared to the old putties.
Sure, but I mean, that's an old campy TV show.
Yeah.
This is 2017. They've been working on this movie probably about 2 years now.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like they really tried that hard with the putties. They just said, okay, rock creatures. And that was really it. And they didn't really have much design to them other than boulders that, when you said they're more threatening, they got kicked and they broke in half. So they kind of just knocked down just like the original putties did.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the CGI was not good in this movie. There's some points where you're like, okay, when they're fighting Goldar, and the T-Rex is jumping on top of Goldar, and so there's a few scenes that are okay and fine, but then there's some scenes where you're just like, holy shit, what happened? It didn't necessarily pull me out of the movie. I was just kind of disappointed that they didn't go all the way with their fairly good sized budget. It's not like a Marvel movie budget, but they could have got some more out of the CGI in the movie. Also, not a fan of Rita Repulsa. I was not. She reminded me a lot of Enchantress with the creepy factor, but didn't keep it throughout. There were points where she used her little accent that kind of threw back to the original Rita Repulsa. But there's some times where she was just Elizabeth Banks. And I said, okay, well, are you going to pick an accent, or are you just going to, or pick a voice, or are you just going to go in and out of it? I thought it was kind of pointless to have her go around and steal gold teeth, when at the end she just went to a gold mine.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of understand, like, she had to get the small bits of gold at the beginning to reform her staff, and so she could use her staff to reform Goldar. I don't know. She needed her staff so she could have her power.
I know, but she sort of stole golden teeth, and she ate some necklaces, and then her staff was complete, which was kind of dumb. Her design was okay. It was fine, but kind of seeing her, some of the up close shots, it wasn't for me. She had like one gold tooth, which kind of threw me back to like Jared Leto's Joker with some of the gold teeth, and I was like, not a fan of that. What else was there? Not my favorite parts. Some of the acting in this movie, these guys are fairly new to the acting game, so I'll give them a pass. But
they'll get better with time.
Some of their acting was a little bit shoddy. There was just a few things here and there that I wasn't a huge fan of that I noticed that needed improvements. But pretty much just notably, the CGI was not that good in the movie. And some of the story elements and some of the villains were just not that threatening.
Yeah.
But other than that, I still enjoyed it. And I still had a lot of good things to say about it. I still think it's a good movie, and it's a good representation of what a modern day or a more better version of the Michael Power Ranger movie could have been.
It's kind of like what a lot of people saying about Zelda is like the new Zelda is like what Zelda feels like it's always like supposed to be. This movie to me feels like what they wanted Michael Power Rangers to be back in the day, just like that cool action show that like all the kids would enjoy. So this is like that cool action movie that all the kids will enjoy.
Yeah. But it was good. It was fun. I had a lot of fun in the movie theater. Just seeing the stuff unfold on the screen. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the sequel. And Justin, what teaser at the end is going to lead us into the sequel?
So we were sitting there, and I could see like you starting to get a little bit ready to go. Like I feel like I heard your chair going up at least. Since there were like recliners. But like I was like, you never know. There's all like it seems like a lot of movies nowadays are doing post-credit scenes, so you never know. It might be there. Sure. And sure enough, it goddamn was. They're back in detention, and the teacher, the supervisor, the whoever said, "We have a new student in detention now, and it is Tommy."
Yeah.
tell me it will be in the goddamn sequel, and that gave me hype more than anything else in the movie.
Yeah, and it was a whole shot of it. It was the attention teacher,
Mhm.
and then it was a shot of the desk with a green jacket. He's like, Tommy Oliver, Tommy Oliver, Tommy Oliver, just kind of going through the school, through the hallways and stuff.
And then Billy's lunchbox explodes.
Yeah, and he's like, what do you say?
Sorry.
Sorry,
That was
my bad.
mine.
That was mine. Which I don't know if that was that his second lunchbox exploding? 'Cause that's what got him in attention in the first place.
Yeah,
Was his
they didn't
lunchbox
show
exploding.
the first one exploding because you didn't know until like near the end, like
Yeah.
why he was in attention. But that was like the second one within the story that exploded.
Yeah, it's just like, what's he doing? But yeah, that's pretty much it for our movie review. Justin, can we move on to ratings and reviews?
Yes,
Or
we can.
Ratings and recommendations, not reviews.
So I shall go first.
No, my first. No, go ahead.
This movie was so enjoyable to me, so hype. It just brought back so many memories of childhood, and it's for these reasons. I think I have to give it an 8.5.
Okay.
What do you give it?
Again, really enjoyed it. Grew up with the Power Rangers. One of my costumes that I remember was the Red Ranger from Wild Force. Collected the figures, brought figures to school to play with friends and stuff. I really enjoyed the series, and I'm gonna kind of agree with what the other review sites are saying for it, and I'm gonna give it 7.5. Very enjoyable. Cannot wait for the sequel, and I'm looking forward to future movies. And I do recommend.
I also recommend.
Which you forgot to do, Justin.
I was waiting
This
until
was
after you're
your
done talking.
decision.
I
do
also
this.
told you I reversed my decision. But
Uh.
anyways, guys, in final words.
I'll say my final words at the end.
Okay. I'm about to say thanks for watching. So
No. Well, you always tell me anything else left to say at the end, and I say my last little phrase.
Okay. So thank you all for watching. Let us know down below, what do you think of Power Rangers? What do you think of the actors? What do you think of Zordon? What do you think about the entire movie, the Zords, the etc.? Until next time, guys, we'll see y'all later.
It's morphin' time.